Hi, welcome to the channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you the Thrustmaster Freestyler bike controller. This was released by Thrustmaster in 2001. They released two versions. There was one for the PC and one for the PS2. The version I'm going to show you today is for the PC. Okay, this controller is plug and play. So you don't need to download any drivers or additional software, and it's USB powered. And you don't need any other external power source, so it doesn't take any like adapters or anything like that. It just uses the power from your computer. Also, it has a table clamp integrated into the design of the controller. So this controller, the handlebars, the steering column here could be, the whole steering column could be like inverted 180 degrees. You've got these kind of latch mechanisms here that allow you to move this column, so you can flip it 180 degrees. And this fake fuel tank here is actually a table clamp. You unscrew here this fake gas tank, the cap, the gas tank I should say, and you lift this this fake gas tank up. You slide the table in between the base and the gas tank. You screw back the screw here, and that fastens that locks the controller to the table. So that's a really good feature of this. The controller itself is like an all plastic construction. It's constructed really well. It's sturdy, it's strong. It doesn't feel, even though it's plastic, it's not like a cheap fragile plastic. It's substantial, and it's not going to break easily. Right, I'm gonna go through the functions of the button placements of the controller now. So, like, first of all, you have like a analog throttle here, which has a rubber coating on it. It feels quite comfortable actually. So you got analog throttle, and then you have a brake lever underneath here, and then on the left side you have another lever, and then also you have a D-pad right here as well, and you have 11 face buttons here as well. I'll just zoom it in so you can see it a bit better. Okay, so as I said, we have a D-pad here. We have 11 face buttons. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So depending on the like what your software allows, you could map these buttons to whatever function you want. Also here we have this switch. Now this controller can it has two different modes of steering. So you have a GP mode, so that would be like the mode you would use if you're playing like MotoGP or something like that, where you can lean the handlebars to the left or to the right. Yeah, so you can have it like that, or you have a motocross mode, which you turn it left and right, more like a conventional bike, like a BMX. And depending on which mode you select, you have a different indicator light will come on here. So if you have it in a GP mode, you'll have like a red indicator light. If you have it in motocross mode, you'll have a yellow indicator light. And you have above that you have a green indicator light, which is like a power indicator. So that just tells you when the controller's powered on. Now I use this controller on a Windows 7 PC, and it works straight out the box. It detects the controller straight away, so that's a really good thing. And I was quite surprised actually, given how old this controller is. So if you're looking to pick this up, I can confirm to you right now it does work on Windows 7. Now, in terms of compatibility with software, I don't have too many bike games on the PC, but I have a few. First of all, I tried it with GP500, which is like this old motorbike simulator. It's what they used to call MotoGP in the 90s. Before it was called MotoGP, they changed it to MotoGP in 2000, but before 2000 it was called GP500. So it looks like this. So I tried this controller with that, and it worked really well. It was detected straight away, and it works straight away, and it plays very well. Also, I tried it with MotoGP 17, but unfortunately I couldn't get this to work. I'm not quite sure why. It might have been because, well, I'm guessing it's probably because it's a console port, and it was you know, I had to configure it through, try and configure it through Steam, and it wouldn't work properly. So that was a bit unfortunate. Another bike game that I have is GP Bikes, which is like a really realistic bike simulator, and I tried it with that, and it worked fantastic, and it was so much better than using a Xbox 360 pad that I was using before, and it plays so much better, and I can map all the functions to the buttons that I want, and it was really fun to play. I actually, when I do use this controller, I actually use it on the table without clamping it to anything, because I'm quite smooth with my riding style. So you know, it's not, the steering's not so heavy that it's gonna move around too much. I mean, yeah, if you yank it from side to side, then it will move a lot. But if you're smooth with your inputs and stuff, you can use it without a clamp. I mean, there's a one downside to this controller, is that unfortunately the left lever here is not analog. So the right one is analog and it's progressive, but the left one here isn't. And when you're playing something like GP Bikes, that, you know, where you want to, like, say, map the rear brake or the clutch, because usually I have the right lever as my front brake, and I wanted to map the rear brake to the left lever, but because it's digital and not analog, it can cause problems, because when you're playing a simulator, you might get away with it on an arcade game. When you're playing a simulator and you need a progressive rear brake or a progressive clutch, you know, if you have if you don't have that, it's digital, you can lose control of the bike really easily and crash. And I did find that. You know, I found, like, if I had it, the rear brake mapped to the left, the left lever, I found that I'll just the bike would just crash in the middle of the corner. And the same, like, when I tried to map the clutch to this left lever as well, I was stalling the bike coming out of the pits, because you can't really, with it being digital and not analog, you can't really progressively let the clutch out to the biting point, and I kept on stalling the bike. So I really wish this left lever was analog instead of digital. That would have made it better. But apart from that, it's a really nice bike controller to use, and it's for playing bike games. It's much more better than using a control pad, because you can like lean the bike into the corner, and you can actually like hold the line in the middle of the corner. It's so much easier to do than it is on a controller. Yes, I recommend it if you can find it. It's quite hard to find on the second-hand market, and when you do find it, it tends to go for it'll go for a bit of money. It's not gonna cost as much as a force feedback racer wheel or anything like that, but because not many of these bike controllers were developed, it can go for quite a bit of money, because like nowadays you have much more bike games, like realistic bike games now, than you did back in the early 2000s, and really they do require a dedicated bike controller to get the most out of them. But no one really, well, at least mainstream, no one's really making bike controllers at the moment. Everything is steering wheels and car orientated peripherals and plain controllers and things like that, and no one's really producing anything for bikes, and that's why things like this are quite hard to find. But I definitely do recommend it. Yeah, that's all I've really got to say about this controller. Yeah, it's just very good, especially for 2001. Playing it in 2019, I was just very surprised at how good it actually is. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna end this video by showing you a flying lap on GP bikes using this controller. So on what you're gonna see now is me going around on a MotoGP mod. So I'm gonna be riding a 2018 Aprilia round Mosport, which is this Canadian track. They now call it Canadian Motorsport Park, but in the back in the day it was known as Mosport. So I'm riding around there, and I'm using like I mapped the controller to play it with manual shifting. So I'm doing all the shifting myself. So just to give you an illustration of me using this controller. It's quite a fast lap actually. I like doing a lot of hot lapping, so this one was about a 125 odd. It's quite a quick lap. So I just wanted to show you the type of control that you can actually get by using a controller like this. So anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Oh.